Hello everyone, welcome to Radio Nyra, where conversations come straight from the heart. Today's episode is special, truly special, a little deeper, a little more meaningful. Like, have you experienced this? What is invisible energy? What is an aura? And most importantly, can understanding it actually transforms our lives? To help us explore this fascinating topic, we have a very special guest with us today. Joining us is Mr. Surya Komuru, a holistic health coach from the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, New York. With the over experience of 11 years in health coaching and a rich journey that blends science, spirituality, and ancient healing practices, Surya brings a truly unique perspective. I think I'm giving you a right introduction. There is a lot to talk about him. He has worked for over 22 years in pharma industry in data analytics while simultaneously dedicating his life to holistic practices like Reiki, meditation and pranayam, mudra practices, aura scanning, energy vastu. Suryaji, welcome to Radio Naira. It is truly a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much, Vaishnavi ji, for the lovely introduction.
Thank you. Still, I feel that there is a lot to know more about you. Definitely, we would love to have your introduction from your side.
Okay. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. This is Surya Kiran. I'm a holistic health coach from Cary, North Carolina. And speaking about my journey, why I have to tell you all this is because of my, the journey in the past 30 plus years of, spirituality that step by step that I have been observing. I've been practicing certain things and observing. Like at the age of 19, I came across acupressure, health in your hands. And then I started going through it and started feeling that, oh, we can heal our bodies from within, using simple techniques, ancient techniques. So that fascinated me. And subsequently, at the age of 2021, that I got into Gayatri Mantra chanting. So prior to that, I was doing Hanuman Chalisa and all that. However, Gayatri Mantra made me feel the energy shift, like how my conscious mind is actually programming my subconscious mind. That I could actually experience it while I was chanting the Gayatri Mantra. So this left me so much of, uh, food for thought that we should explore this more. We should explore this more. So the more I kept on chanting that, my behavior, my state of mind, my energy, my aura started changing every now and then. And people used to come and tell me, you look very different from who you were before. So that difference, because you don't do it for the sake of results, you just do it and then leave it to the universe, and the universe gives you what is needed for you, what is right for you.
Right.
So these kind of experiences I've been having. And when I was 25 years old, I came across the ancient healing technique called as Reiki, a wonderful modality being introduced by me, by my Reiki Grand Master, Bharati Garu in Hyderabad. So that actually made me understand and made me experience of how the frequencies operate, how an individual can actually transmit energy to others who are in need of, and how this distance healing has actually helped so many people out there in order to bring their health concerns down.
Okay.
So I kept on practicing it without even expecting anything out of it. And I started seeing the shift in my energies again. This took me to the next level. And when in 98, when I was learning this, she actually experimented something on water. She showed me, or she told me, that how Japanese actually did this experiment, and we all might have seen this, that they took droplets of water. In one glass, they said something positive, positive words. Okay. And another glass, they said something very, different, not negative words. And then they took droplets of it and tested under a microscope. And then the one with positive had a beautiful crystalline structure, amazing crystalline structure. And the one that was, given all negative words, spoken all negative words, that was totally distorted. Okay. So I said, oh, really? So how much of an impact if water, our body is 70% water.
Yes.
Right? So how much are we programming our mind and body with what we are speaking, how we are thinking, what we are doing?
Right.
Think about it. We are speaking, we are thinking and doing. Now, this is going to change your life if you start thinking in a positive way. Okay? If I have your permission, can I demonstrate and show this water, this thing?
Yes, yes.
Whatever I
Absolutely.
just spoke right now. Okay.
Yes.
So we have 2 glasses, and this is our ton of curry water. I've just put it in a smart water bottle, an empty bottle. So let me take some water. Little bit. It doesn't need too much. Okay. And let me, first. This is my dowsing pendulum, and let me charge it a bit once. Let me charge this water with positive thoughts. Okay. I love you. 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 I hate 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 you. This is love.
Yeah.
Please check the positive energy of this water. Please check the positive energy of this water. Please check the positive energy of this water. Kindly observe, I'll have my eyes closed. I opened it, but which direction?
It's clockwise.
Clockwise, okay? I only opened it after it started vibrating, oscillating, okay? Please check the energy, positive energy of this water. Please check the positive energy of this water. Please check the positive energy of this water.
It's anti-clock.
Why the same difference? Why the difference in this versus this? Positive.
Okay.
That is negative words. Rishi Munis, in the ancient times when they used to walk in the jungles and they used to find a fruit or something and they didn't know whether the fruit was edible or not.
Okay.
All they did, they took their Rudraksha, mala, and then they placed the food in one hand, held the Rudraksha on top, and the Rudraksha used to move in clockwise direction, saying that it is good. That is when they used to eat it.
Wow.
Okay?
That's so fascinating.
Exactly. This is the science of the unseen.
Okay. Okay.
Physics, we believe that, physics proves that like poles repel each other, right?
Right.
Metaphysics, like poles attract each other.
Yes. That's what we read.
Right?
That's what we see.
Yeah, that's what we see, because when people of the same frequencies meet together, their energy is very different. They kind of get together very well because they're at the same frequencies. Right? So the world physical to the metaphysical, there is a shift. Okay, we need to understand the science of the unseen.
Correct.
Okay, that is all that we're going to speak about today. This had positive words, but when I said, did you observe anything else other than my words?
I observed like your pitch when you are having the positive thoughts. Your pitch of saying it is in a very soft and balanced. That's what I observed. And when you said I hate you, there is a little bit of more aggression.
Aggression with emotion is my point here.
Yeah,
right?
Emotions.
See,
Absolutely.
when you say, when you tell somebody that you love, what kind of an emotion? It's soft.
Soft emotion.
Right? So that is exactly what I gave here.
Okay.
And hatred, it's
kind of an aggression.
Aggression, right?
Hatred.
And that is exactly why it moved in anti-clockwise direction.
Wow.
So now imagine every thought of yours or every glass of water you're drinking. If you could charge your water with a positive thought, you could say, I love you, or you could draw Om symbol on it.
Yes.
Or you could say, this is going to give me wonderful health. Right? But simply saying is not the thing. You have to mean it, which means from within. You have to believe it and you have to mean it. Okay? When you do that, you're bound to see results.
Wow.
Okay,
That's amazing.
this is the spiritual healing.
Wonderful. It's like spiritual and science together.
Exactly, exactly.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely.
So, yeah, I mean that's like miracle. I would say, something surprising or fascinating which we see. These things are actually the invisible thing. If you can see it through
Yeah.
all these medium, then I think
Yeah.
it's so fascinating.
Yes.
So we are talking about a lot of science and spirituality and this energy part, right?
Yes, yes.
So let's start with a question. What exactly is aura? Like
Okay.
for the listeners who are listening this term for the
Yes.
first time.
Uh-huh.
So what exactly is aura, Surya?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Actually, to be very honest, these days so many things have become so common. People are hearing a lot, right?
Yes.
So, aura is an energy field, an invisible energy field that your body is emitting. Okay, it is in basic layers: the physical, the emotional, the mental, spiritual, and astral, which are all 1 feet apart from your body. Okay, these are in layers. So if you're working hard and you're keeping good health, if you're keeping good health conditions, your physical state of aura is going to be strong enough. Okay, if you're having good thoughts, all positive thoughts, your emotional state is also going to be good, your mental state is going to be good.
Right.
And if you're into some good practices, spirituality doesn't mean that doing the rituals is spirituality or doing anything specific. Your state of mind is going to shows your spirituality, right? People don't have to believe in God. Right. Spirituality does not mean that one has to believe in God, right? Whether or not you believe in God, if as a human being, if your chakras are clean and you're doing good things, you're a spiritual person. Right?
Absolutely.
So all these layers, when they are strong enough, negative energy will not be penetrating so easily. Like if anybody tries to put you down also, your aura is so strong enough that it will only reflect them back. Okay, but if you start paying attention to those details, and if you start taking to your mind and heart,
Right.
the worst problem is your heart operates at several hundreds of times more than your mind. Okay, so your thought is there, but it is getting amplified here. You'll start feeling it.
Right.
If you see something beautiful, your mind sends a signal, your eyes see it, mind sends a signal, and your heart is filled with joy. Right?
Yes.
Anything scenic that you see, wow, when you say that,
It comes from heart.
It comes from heart. You don't say, wow, right? We don't say it so. You
Yes.
actually mean it.
Yes.
Right? So it comes. So your heart is operating at a very higher frequency. Right? So the astral part of it goes from your heart. Okay, the astral energy, which I've spoken about as the last layer of your auric field, is emitting out of your heart. Okay, every chakra is connected to your auric layers.
Right.
Okay, so similarly, if you start having negative thoughts, as much as I've shown you, right?
Yeah.
If you have a negative thought and you're trying to drink a glass of water, you're multiplying it in your body.
Exactly.
Every droplet is getting multiplied.
Right.
So calm down. If you're panicking, slow down, calm down, let your mind calm down, and then have it. That will give you better results. Okay?
Yeah.
So mind and your emotions play a vital role.
Yeah.
Okay? Doing yoga for the sake of physical body versus involving your mind into it, in your emotions connected, you believing what you're doing. When you're doing a particular pranayama, you should think that this is helping me lower your existing health condition. If you don't have that on mind and you're simply doing it, the effectiveness of it is not going to be there. Okay? So always have an emotion attached. We are emotional beings. That's the reason it is said, Yat bhavam tad bhavati. As you feel, so you see it outside too. Okay? So everything is about your emotion. So emotion plays a vital role in spiritual healing.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
This is like, I'm feeling that energy now.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So when we talk about energy,
Yes.
so it's like you need, I mean, what I understand
Mhm.
about aura is you need to send the positive thoughts.
Absolutely.
Then the things will be in positive. So
Yes.
whatever you want to do, that first you need to think that you're doing it and it's
Yes.
positive.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So how one can know, like okay, what because this is invisible.
Yes.
So how is there any device or tools? How people can know about this aura?
Okay, so as I told you, first thing is that uh, everybody has an aura to some degree or the other. As a matter of fact, nice topic you brought it up. PM Narendra Modi ji, before he becoming the prime minister, I think this was back before 2014,
Okay.
that he went to Japan to enhance his aura. Okay? So they put his thumb on a device, an aura measuring device, and the auric field was a simple, little bit around his thumb.
Okay.
Okay? 40 days he was subjected to a different diet, a different practice, everything. So there was, 40 days he was, put into a separate kind of a this thing. Okay? After 40 days, when again his aura was checked, the whole room it spread.
Wow.
Room,
Wow.
which means several feet away. Okay, so this is what an aura can do to you, which means not only your confidence, it's not only your confidence, but when you speak something, the state of mind at which you're speaking is different. Okay, your thought process is going to be different, and the result of which we are seeing today, how Narendra Modi ji is influencing the world, right? So, okay, not about politics, but, that is, one of the examples that, I can definitely say. And again, when we speak about all our saints and gurus and, sadgurus, and you look at all those people, like, not to say people, but again, godly state kind of, souls, their aura is miles together. People can feel those vibrations, like one of my what do you call spiritual mentor back in India, I could feel her aura 300, 400 feet away. I could feel I was getting pulled.
Wow.
Every individual's aura is very different.
Okay.
So a person who is physically good enough, mentally, emotionally balanced, and is spiritual, and spirituality, as I said, doesn't have to be like any worshipping or be religious or anything like that. Spirituality does not actually truly link to religious aspects of it. Nor does our Sanatana Dharma, right? So when you look at their aura, a healthy person in all these aspects, not just the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, all these aspects, can have a 5 feet of an aura. Okay, but with more practices, more state of mind, this is what I emphasize the more, because all these years, I as a kid was a big fan of Swami Vivekananda. The power of prayers, power of conscious mind, subconscious mind. I mean, simple sentence of his: you are the creator of your own destiny.
It's a very powerful.
And when I say it, it's not coming from here, it's coming from deep within, because every cell of my body believes in that. Right? There is nobody out there who has written that this is how you have to be, this is how you have to die. It is up to us to choose what we want to be. Right? We need to choose that path. It's slightly difficult, but we still need to do certain practices. And when somebody like Swami Vivekananda said that, and even our rishis have said, Krushito Nasti Durbhiksham, though this is little Telugu. Right? I mean, the Sanskritam words you can actually see, right? You work, you'll
see the results.
You'll see the results. So nobody simply said, this is what is written in your fate, go live with it. No. If that is the case, I would simply sit doing nothing. Right? Is it not true? Right? We need to work towards a goal. We need to work towards a goal. So everything becomes, comes to your state of mind and how you are putting your energies together in order to make it happen. a little bit of effort is needed.
Right.
Yes.
Right. When you're saying this, I can actually relate it.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes what happens is, when we sit and
Mhm.
we say we are waiting for a friend or,
Yes.
Somebody like new person
Yes.
we are waiting and
Yes.
and they come and they sit. We are with a lot of energy that, I'm going to meet this person, I'm going to tell all these things.
Yes.
But as soon as the person comes and sit in front of me, or, like usually, we see that the entire energy is gone. The whole energy, like we feel like we're already tired.
Yes, that
right?
is true. Yeah.
And similarly,
Yes.
when you meet a person with a lot of energy, you get more energy.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
there is it happens like, often it happens if you meet the same person and you see that you're drained out
That is.
of your energy and
Yes.
you feel like, something is not happening. I'm not able to talk.
Yes.
So do you think this is called an aura?
Absolutely.
This is-
See,
okay.
everybody carries energy.
Okay.
This energy, again, I'm saying, right?
Mhm.
This energy is coming from their thoughts,
Right.
from their emotions,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
So they're already transmitting to the universe.
Okay. Okay.
I want to control that fellow.
Oh my God.
So that is the reason you who are eagerly waiting with an open mind and an open heart,
Yeah.
he is blocking your energies. He or she is blocking your energies.
Correct.
Right? And then this is when a small leak starts to happen in your aura. Right?
Right.
So we need to be very particular about whom we are meeting. Repeatedly, if you see this happen with people that you're interacting with, your energies are going to get depleted.
Okay.
So we need to be very, what we need to do in order to protect ourselves from such things happening, because we cannot avoid people.
Correct.
Right? So what can we do better in order to enhance our energy so that our chakras are aligned and our aura is strong enough so that anything negative also they try to hit you, even with their thoughts and emotions, it's going to get reflected back.
Correct.
Nazar is one of the things we speak about.
Absolutely.
Drushti.
Yeah.
Drushti.
Right.
Not by just the looks also. Through looks also they're transmitting energy. That is Nazar.
Oh,
Okay. So that there is science, and the reason that when you step out somewhere and again go home, elderly people, they used to take the salt and try to move it.
They do
They're
that.
cleansing your auras.
Oh, wow.
We simply ignored that,
Yeah.
but it is so true. If you do that for yourself, I'm going to teach all these techniques.
Okay.
These are very few, but there are more and more techniques that I usually teach.
Okay.
How one can enhance their energy, removing the negativity of their body. You feel that there is some energy that has got attached to you.
Right.
And once you take this out, the negativity is going to go. So if you're not able to do all this, I can give you one simple technique. Okay. Take pink salt. Equal proportions of pink salt. Alum, we get it in our Indian store. Right? Similar proportion. And then the solid camphor, not the one we use for puja, but the solid one. Right? Equal proportions. Make them powder. Mix it. Keep it in your bathroom in a glass jar with a wooden spoon. In this big mug of water, like 32 ounces of water, hot water. Take a teaspoon of it. Mix it in water. The last thing you do after you're done with your shower, pour that from your top of your head with your eyes closed from here onwards on your body and say, all my negativity is getting grounded into Mother Earth. Okay? Say that. You will start seeing the shift in energy. Yes. Okay? This is a simple technique that anybody can do at their home in order to cleanse their auras. Wow. I have hundreds of those remedies.
I'm sure you have.
The reason is so many people come with different issues. Right? So one thing may not be sufficient for them. But the science that our ancestors have put, we have to revive that. Because our insurance costs are going so high that,
Yes.
Again, this again relates back to our aura. The more that you have negative thoughts, or when you interact with people with negative thoughts or people with lower frequencies, I would say. We speak about frequencies,
Yes.
right?
Okay.
So when you interact with people with lower frequencies, how does electricity flow from a higher potential to a lower potential? They tend to drain your energy.
Oh, okay.
There will be people like that. Okay? So when they are draining it, you're going to become weaker. So you need to do certain rituals, little rituals,
Mm-hmm.
however different techniques, how you can keep your energy intact and not get depleted when you're interacting with those people.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Yeah. But when you and me are talking today, we
Mhm.
are exchanging auras,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Because my aura and your aura, we are interacting, and our
Right.
thoughts. Honestly speaking, you brought up such wonderful questions. On the go,
Thank
on the go.
Absolutely. I mean, this is so interesting.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
see like a lot of people don't
yeah.
worry about it. They don't want to understand about aura. They
Understand.
think that something is wrong, but they have no clue like what is wrong.
Exactly.
So if we say, like the weak aura people or the
Mhm.
weak auras,
Mhm.
how would that impact their life? If you can give some insights that why this is so important.
Yes.
That if you have a weak aura,
Yeah.
what are the areas in life
Yeah.
will be impacted?
Oh, absolutely. As I told you, it starts with a negative thought.
Hmm.
A negative thought is because of a fear.
Mhm.
Oh, will it happen or not? Will it? You start thinking about it. Something is going to happen tomorrow.
Hmm.
You're going to a place, and it depends on what you put to your future.
Right.
Again, let me give you a small example. Okay, I always have been saying this. You are in this state right now, in this moment. Okay.
Right.
If you're trying to bring a thought from your past, maybe a year, a month, a week, or a few days ago, if this thought is a positive state, positive one, like you've been to a very good trip,
Hmm.
you've had so much of energy,
Hmm.
you're scrolling through your phone, and you found that picture that you loved. So, what is going to happen to your energy now?
It will become positive.
Positive.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what will happen if you bring a negative thought or an event which has hurt you deeply
Correct.
into this present? What is going to happen?
That will spoil everything, like the negativity.
Yes, it
Yeah.
spoils your present, it's going to spoil the future moments as well.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So you better be watchful of what you're bringing from the past. Past is history, future is mystery. Right? So why are we forgetting to live this moment?
Present.
Present. We are always running, chasing, and people are getting lost, Like they have too many things on their mind. And I'm saying, as you age, your body is not allowing you to do that. Your mind is asking you to do that, your body is not cooperating. So you better slow down.
Okay.
Okay? One has to slow down a bit so that you'll be able to do things better. So, again, as I told you, if something, tomorrow, the worry about tomorrow, what may happen, why are you so worried about future? If you know about the future, it's not future anymore.
Yeah. You already know it.
You already know it, right? So it's no longer
Right.
future. So why do you worry about it? Have a calm state of mind.
Right.
Think positive. Accept whatever comes out of it. Okay? Accept whatever comes out of it. If more effort is needed, try to put that effort. That's what is said in Bhagavad Gita, right?
Right.
Do your stuff. Leave the rest.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So why are we forgetting that? So why are we so worried about something in the future may or may not happen? Right? This is creating a small leak, and this leak is allowing more negative thoughts to penetrate because you're not stopping there. You're thinking and thinking and thinking. You're bringing more negative thoughts. This will lead to a tear in your aura, and subsequently, it can leave a scar on your aura that is going to impact your physical well-being, your mental, your emotional, your spiritual well-being. What you were able to perform better earlier, now you'll not be able to do it. Right? So why should we go into that negative state of mind? Right? Just keep a positive mind all the time. Okay? And you are whom you associate with. Trust me. If you start hanging around with people who are always pulling you, playing around you, you are letting them create more holes in your aura. So you better raise your vibration to this extent that your aura is enhanced, you're well protected. If you don't want to let go of those people.
It's all about the choices you make.
Exactly.
Right?
That is
it's
very
all
true.
about the choices. You want to be in that, the negativity or the negative people around negative people, then it's your choice. You made that choice.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how, to begin with,
Yes.
if anyone, whoever is listening to us or they hear this term called aura and they want to actually understand that whether my aura is strong or no,
Yeah.
or they want to know where do I stand,
Yes.
how many leaks
Yes.
have been happened in my aura. So how can they check, what are the steps? Do you think any practices or disciplines required for one
Yeah.
to check their own aura?
Yes, yes. For one to be able to check their own aura, they have to first learn how to scan their auras, for which that is where people like me actually come into the
Definitely.
picture, right? I basically teach people how one can scan their auras and what are the steps needed before you can start scanning, how you can align your energies, balance them out, and then get to that state. I help people get from this state to that state where they can start scanning their auras when their energies are balanced. So I also tell them what can you do in order to balance out your energies, right? And upon doing all that, they'll be easily able to start scanning their own auras with an unbiased state of mind, because that is more important. As I told you, we should not bias our opinion.
Yeah.
If that is what you want, not do it.
You already have your answer.
Exactly. Okay.
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah.
Okay, so I mean, like with this, like to begin, like the people need to have unbiased thought
Yes.
process,
Yes.
and so most in busy life,
Yes.
in today we
Yes.
see everyone is running.
Yes.
So when they hear about this, so they might think, people can think that, oh, it can, take a lot of time for me to do all this. I need to have I need to give time, allocate time for doing this. So
Yeah.
according to you, like you have been practicing, you
Yes.
have been teaching and
Yeah.
helping people.
Yes.
So can you tell us, like, how do they really need to, give that slot time schedule a lot of time, because it's so busy life. We have
True.
like, morning to evening, weekdays we are so busy.
Absolutely.
Weekends we are already exhausted. So what is the time frame? You would say, like, people to practice this. What time frame would you
Well,
say?
I mean, time frame, I would say, during my sessions, I would usually take an hour of a class. And then within the week, I say, you should be able to try it for at least 2 to 3 hours.
Okay.
Okay. So if we can reduce our social media time, screen time, and then kind of allocate to this. The reason is because this is more important to us. These days, majority of the people are going through this. The reason for me to say that is people are having financial issues, people are having career issues,
Right.
relationship issues,
Oh yeah.
and several, health issues are the biggest.
I think the mental piece is
The mental piece, right? So health has become a big thing too.
Right.
So looking at all these aspects, what we need to do, if we continue doing the same thing and expect different results, it's not going to happen, right? So we need to give at least, if we can give 3 hours in a week or 4 hours in a week, which is very doable if we can reduce our social media time,
Right.
So trust me.
Scrolling.
Yeah, scrolling time, so if you can allocate, because this is more important to you. Once you try to align your own energies and then, try to cover your all the tears and everything that have happened in your auric layer and become yourself emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually strong enough,
Yes.
this is going to transmit into your home. This positivity that they see, the shift, the energy shift that they see in you is going to help your family members. And you will be able to align more of their energies also. You'll be able to scan their auras. Once you learn it, you'll be able to scan their auras.
Wow.
And you can see where they are falling apart. And you can fix their issues too. So one person in the family, if they can learn it, they can fix, their family members' issues as well.
Wow.
So all that
Amazing.
it takes is little bit of time, 3 to 4 hours a week, which
Right.
is, in my opinion, what is your priority? Do you want to, continue whatever you're taking, be it your, other things,
It's again a choice.
It's again a matter of choice,
Right.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we are talking about a person's aura, each individual person's aura, do you also think that, a home,
Mhm.
house,
Yes.
should also have, because we see, a lot of Indian people,
Yeah.
they say, this is something I'm not liking it, and I'm not getting that vibe in this house,
Very
or,
true,
vibe
very
in the
true.
street.
I know.
So
I
a lot
know.
of people talk
Yes,
about it,
yes,
right?
yes.
So do you think it's just about the individual person's aura healing, or there is also, things for house or
Absolutely.
where you work? There are a lot of, like, apart from
Yes,
this,
yes.
when we talk about things, or the place we live.
That's true.
So,
That is true.
does that also have aura?
Absolutely. See, one thing, Vastu, that, we learned the ancient science,
Right.
However, in the last 25 years or 30 years, if you really look back, even at India, no house we are actually able to build according to Vastu. Right?
Right.
Because majority of the people are ending up in apartments, tall towers that are already planned and built. Right? So you can't do anything there. Even if you bought a plot and tried to build it accordingly, that may also not cooperate at times. And how many people are truly able to buy a land today and then do the construction? A small percentage of people, right? I mean, to have a perfect plot according to Vastu and then build a home according to Vastu, these days is not possible. But however, that does not mean that Vastu, you can't rectify. Excuse me, you can't rectify those defects. That could be done through energy Vastu. Okay, without having any doors to be moved or kitchen to be shifted or any walls broken,
which is not possible.
You can check the energies in those directions,
Right.
and use similar typical remedies, very simple remedies, you could put in one corner, and that is going to shift the direction, energy direction, and this is going to help our well-being.
Wow.
Yeah, you can. I mean, I usually do that. I do the consultants, for energy vastu as well, and aura scanning as well.
Okay.
So when I actually, check the energies, I see that, practically no house is 100% vastu. If you start living in a 100% vastu home, you will soon shift to another home.
Oh.
Because it is so good, it only adds value to you. It's taking you to a bigger home.
That's amazing.
But think about it. Sometimes when you go to bigger home, your happiness in the smaller one was much better than this, because the vastu there is not so aligned. Energy is there because what is coming from the earth, we are not sure.
Correct.
There could be some paranormal activities in the earth, right? So you don't know what is beneath the earth, and using the heavy equipment is actually disturbing the earth's frequency. The frequency of earth is 7.83, and this is going to get disturbed, and when that disturbs and it is raising to some 40-50 hertz, the energy in your home and your own body is going to shift as well. Okay?
Yeah.
So by doing certain little remedies, again those energies could be balanced out. Okay? A simple remedy, if you could do it and can balance the energy at your home, your physical, mental, emotional being also is going to shift.
Wow.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So before we end this show, do you have any message, advice, and also about like what all you do and how they can get benefit of? You want to tell our listeners?
Sure. Because most of the people, like have some problems or the other. Like as I told you, it could be financial, relationship, career-wise, or health-wise, right? If you want to know the answers or learn where your auras are falling apart, that is easily doable, because I teach people how to do that.
Okay.
And the courses that I'm going to, teaching, if one can start learning those, they can start learning how to scan their own auras, protect their auras, and then do other aura reading for others as well in their family members. And then they can see a shift in their overall well-being.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So this is my simple message.
Yes. Yes. So thank you, Suryaji, for enlightening, I would say. The conversation was so enlightening and giving us, a balance of science and spiritual and, about the aura, especially like how people can, have the positive aura and it will impact their positivity throughout their life, right?
Absolutely.
So that's an amazing session. You actually gave us a lot of information. There is a lot to know about this energy reading and how one can get benefit.
Yeah.
So I'm sure our listeners would be happy to talk to you more.
Absolutely.
After this.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
Thank you for being on our show. It was a
Sure.
great pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much, Vaishnavi ji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Radio Nanda listeners, and this is your host, Vaishnavi Baleda.